I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Is this Garrison Brothers annual Cowboy Release worth $250? Let's find out. So today, we will be reviewing Texas whiskey from Garrison Brothers Cowboy.
Real cowboy?
Comes from Dan and Donna's favorite barrels. Now, these barrels are set aside for a couple of years for further maturation, and the liquid is bottled at cask strength, uncut and unfiltered. I do have a fun collaboration coming up soon with a few buddies, so make sure to subscribe and not miss that exciting collaboration. Believe me, you don't want to miss it. Garrison Brothers was founded in 2005. Garrison Brothers Distillery is Texas' first and oldest whiskey distillery. Its bourbon was first introduced in 2010. Garrison Brother flagship Cowboy Bourbon's first batch was released in 2013, and it consists of a few thousand barrel-proof bottles released each year. This bottle is a Texas straight bourbon whiskey barrel-proof. It's aged at least 5 years in Texas heat and is bottled at cask strength. It is a limited production of handcrafted bourbon with its 8th release of 9,600 bottles. It comes in this beautiful wooden box with a satin interior. This one comes at 67.4% alcohol per volume, which makes it 134.8 proof, just a few points shy of hazmat. I will be using my normal scoring system of 1 to 10 in each of these categories: aroma, flavors, complexity, mouthfeel, finish, and would I buy it again. I am more than halfway to 1,000 subs. And with that, I want to do a big giveaway to match the special occasion. Now, I kept trying to figure out what would be the best bottle to give away. I went through a lot of ideas and it finally hit me.
It hit me.
Everybody is always hunting Buffalo Trace products. So here it is. I'm gonna give away an E.H. Taylor small batch. I know, that's not what you're expecting. So, I'm also gonna be giving away an E.H. Taylor straight rye. How does that sound? What? Still not impressed? Okay. So then I'm also gonna give away an E.H. Taylor single barrel. That's right. When I hit 1,000 subs, I'll be giving away all 3 of these bottles to a lucky winner. So make sure to hit that sub button as to not miss out. So let's take this bad boy out. These things are always fun to open when you have this much wax on something. Let's see if this has a good pop. Ooh, nice. Always love that sound.
I love it.
Give it a little swirl and let it air out just a bit. But wow, looking at that, look at that color, how dark that is.
Yeah.
It's so dark.
A few years in Texas heat can do pretty quickly. All right, so let's go to the aroma. Let's go on the nose right now. Wow, for being such a high proof, it doesn't hit you with the alcohol right away. I smell like a little bit like Texas mesquite, like dark cherry, caramel, but it smells more mesquite than really oaky. It's a very, very interesting aroma. It's funny because it kind of smells a little bit like a bread, like a monkey bread, a bran muffin, something in between there. So on aroma, it's very unique. I'm gonna give it a 7. Let's go in for that initial taste. Let's go in for that flavor. Very, very different. So it didn't hit my mouth with fire. Like I didn't have that fire up front like I thought I was gonna have with such a high proof. It kind of tastes dark chocolate, dark cherries, a little leathery.
Leather.
And of course that brown sugar you get with most bourbon. So yeah, you do get that. But it is a little bit spicy. But as I said, it's not in the front. It's actually in the back end of it that I get that spiciness. So for initial flavor, that was actually very interesting. I did like that. I am gonna give that an 8. So let's go to the next category, complexity. How does this evolve on the tongue? As I said, it's kind of a unique evolvement. It's unique how it evolves.
I'm evolving.
I get that, as I said, like a dark cherry, dark chocolate kind of taste at the beginning. It goes to the mid palate, that leathery kind of taste. A little bit of like a mesquite. There's a mesquite flavor in here that I think is interesting because I don't think they use any mesquite in this. So I think that's interesting that I'm tasting like Texas. It tastes like Texas to me. Like a Texas barbecue.
Barbecue's like family.
It does go towards the back of the tongue, and then when it hits the back is when it gets spicy. So it does go from sweet to dark. I mean, it goes from dark to a little bit of sweetness, then to that spiciness towards the back. So with the complexity, I like it. I think I'm gonna give that a 7. Next, we're gonna go over mouthfeel. How thick is it? How viscous is it that on that tongue? Now, I swirl around in here. It is actually pretty thick and holds pretty long. It takes a moment for those legs to start showing up, so it is nice and viscous on the glass. But let's see how. How is that on the tongue?
On my tongue.
It is nice and thick. It coats the tongue. The front and the mid palate stay coated right now. Stays for a while. And as I said, then you get that little spiciness starts back. But on the tip and on the mid palate, it's actually still there. I still feel it, like the oiliness or almost like a velvet texture on my tongue.
Well, what is that, velvet?
So for this mouthfeel, I also like it. So mouthfeel, I'm gonna give it an 8. With the finish, so we're gonna see how does it finish? How does it go through? How does it taste towards the end? You know? Let's go through all this. I love that evolution through the tongue. I like how it just tastes. I love that darkness. I like that leathery note. I like that sweetness. I like the brown sugar in there. It's a little bit of a like dark chocolate.
Oh, I'm not dark chocolate.
But you get a little bit of bitterness. I mean, there's a little bit of bitterness that does stay there. And it stays nice and long. Now with this one at this proof, it's not as hot as you would think it would be at this proof, so it drinks at a lower proof, which is nice. You're able to enjoy it. And I do get a little bit of a Texas hug, so I do have a nice little Texas hug going down.
Hug time!
And even after all this time, I still have the taste in the tongue. I still have that oil viscosity on my tongue, so I can still taste it. So with the finish, I'm gonna give it a 7. One thing I want to say is, I've never had Cowboy before. This is the first time I'm actually tasting Cowboy.
Hi, Cowboy.
I've had a few other Garrison Brothers bourbons, and one of them actually being this Val Maria. I haven't opened my bottle, I have it here, but I had a few pours of this while at bars or out and about. And this one, not my favorite. So I was kind of worried after having this one if I was gonna like this one, but definitely I am liking this one a lot. Now, would I buy it again? Cowboy is their top of the line annual release. This is their top. So it comes with a hefty price tag. At MSRP, it is $250. It is aged around 5 years. So for a 5-year bourbon at $250, seems like a lot of money. But this is Texas heat.
8 upon 8.
And I believe they age it in smaller barrels. I think it's like 25-gallon barrels, so they're smaller than what you normally would age one in. So that also helps speed up that process. Now, a lot of times when you go smaller or you try to speed up a process, you lose a lot of things in that. And I think I've seen that with a few of their other bottles. However, with this one, as I was worried about it and being the price tag that it was and everything, I'm actually really liking it. I think it's a very good bourbon. And at $250, that is a lot of money, but it's not one of those things I'm gonna be drinking every day. I think as an annual release and at $250, I would buy this again, so that's a yes. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, I have a lot of other bottles that I would buy over this one. So I think I'll give that a 6 on a buy again, but it's still, for me, I would buy again. When I finish this one, I'll go look out for another one and probably pick one up. Doing the math and adding it up, this comes out to 43 out of 60. I actually thought I was gonna rank a little bit higher. I thought I was gonna, be a little bit higher than that. But overall, I think it's an overall very good score. If you can get your hands on one, I would definitely try it, or have a buddy that try it, or go to a bar and if they have a pour, worth the pour. So once again, I'm gonna have a collab with a few of my buddies online coming very soon, so make sure you don't miss that. And thanks again for joining me down another bourbon rabbit hole. Till the next time, my friends, cheers.